Talking about Alpha Bridge, it is very, very, very strong at the moment for Dark Zone only. Um, I'm basically making a recap on basically what my build looks like, and if you haven't seen the other two videos of the examples of what can happen in PvP, go watch those two videos. It's The titles are called Proof Why Alpha Bridge is OP. Or if I got it wrong, it'll be on the description. You'll see it. It's brand new. I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. I'm not trying to make it as long as possible. So let me go ahead and get into this video. Basically, I'll show you what I'm working with right now. We all know most people don't really tell you exactly what they got modded in their secondary slot, and I guess it's non-explanatory because it says it on the description of that talent. But let me get into it. As far as my firearms, 5,151, stamina, and electronics, and so forth. And you see my toughness is at 439, 727, and skill power as you looking at it. And the reason why my DPS is so high is because I'm running 9 talents, but there's a reason behind why I'm hitting for 4,000k. So I'm using the M4 right now. So if you can see as the talents, this is the talents: swift, vicious, brutal. You can even hit harder depending on what talents that you're using, but these were the talents that were given to me at one point. This was the one that you can buy at the vendor. What was it? Last reset. Now it's no longer for sale, so whoever missed out on it, then you probably have to wait for a better one that comes by. The main reason why I made this review is because of one reason, is the Flamaz. And we all know that the Flamaz has its own special talent. And the reason why it's such a damage dealer is because of this talent right here. Uncomplicated. Damage is increased by 15%. Accuracy and stability mods reduce this bonus. So therefore, if you mod this gun, you got to make sure there's no stability or accuracy mods on that gun, period. You cannot put anything on that gun that has to do with stability or accuracy, or you're not going to get the full effect of this perk. Modding at all, I guess it probably will still have an effect even if you don't have a mod on it, or any mods, because the fact that there's nothing on the gun, but people mod it anyway, because even when you're in a situation or in mid-combat with somebody in the Dark Zone, you're going to need that weapon just in case if you can't reload fast enough. So it will do enough damage to finish off your opponent. But I believe that this talent, Uncomplicated, is really overpowered. It needs to be nerfed to between 5% or 10%. I think 5% will be necessary, because then the Alpha Bridge will be less of a threat to anybody in the Dark Zone, and it won't turn into a meta. I'm tired of how things is changing into the meta, and everybody runs the same build, and it's such a disadvantage when there's one gear set that does more damage due to one talent. So, prime example, if you haven't seen the video where I was one-manning a 2-man group, you should go watch it. It's a proof why this gear set is so powerful at the moment. It's not the gear set itself, You can put any other talent on there besides complicated, uncomplicated. If it's on there, literally, you can literally see that Alpha Bridge is a normal build. It won't hit as hard because of that talent. Now, if that talent was nerfed, it will sit just like every other build. It won't hit as hard as the other builds. It will be balanced. It would be just balanced. But they got to find a way where FAMAS won't have it as a permanent talent. For me, I feel like that needs to go. That talent needs to be on any weapon as long as it's nerfed. It needs to be at 5%. It does way too much damage, period. I've tried it without it. It's not as strong, but it needs to be nerfed because of the Alpha Bridge. So pretty much that's my feedback on that set. It's the reason why that build is so strong. And most people will be running with Savage gloves, with the critical hit chance, critical hit damage, the with the assault rifles. And if you look at my character sheet, normally I can get that crit chance with any other build that I run. I got a Predator's Mark that has just same amount of crit chance, same amount of hit damage, but doesn't hit as hard as the Alpha Bridge. If you can compare the two sets, and if I can compare both of my gear sets to that, then guarantee you're going to lose every fight, no matter what. I have a Firecrest build that can literally go up against an Alpha Bridge, and we can face tank each other all day, and I'm going to end up losing the fight. Because why? Even if I do have that crit chance, that one Pacific talent is the only reason why people will drop hard to the ground before they can even do anything. It's such an unfair advantage to people that want to adventure to other gear sets, but they're underpowered because of one talent that is running around in the dark zone. It's like 1.3 all over again. It's not as bad, but I can say it's somewhat around that area where people's just going around shredding people. No matter how much crit chance, no matter how much crit damage you have on your sheet, that thing hits way too hard. That's why people are popping tackling. They're doing everything in the world to stop that person that's wearing Alpha Bridge. It's too powerful. If you look at my armor, it's 54.56, and it's an unfinished build, and it's not bad for an unfinished build. This is something I started with, and I had good pieces in the beginning, and I just decided to put them together. And right now, this is what I came up with. I had Alpha Bridge. I've been using Alpha Bridge since 1.3. I never liked using shotguns because it was cheap. I don't like playing that way anymore, because back in 1.2 I was going around one-shotting people with a sniper rifle basically, and now I got to the point where I wanted to play with builds that have to do with skill. It shows that if you're a player that plays with different builds, you are a good player in your own right. So far, this is basically the reason why people are using this right now. Another thing is, not only most builds that you make normally don't ever get the weapon damage to get any higher than 19k. That's as high as you can ever get it, unless you have good weapon damage on your gloves. If you have good weapon damage on your gloves, you're able to do that. But for this build, if you look on this, it says 19.1K. You look on here, it says 21.689. That weapon damage is far more than what it is on the regular base damage of this weapon right here. So 9 times out of 10, even when it says this right here, 19.1K, those 9 talents is the reason why that you get this much weapon damage. But the main talent is uncomplicated. And excuse me that I be pronouncing it. I be saying complicated, but it's uncomplicated. It's the main talent that's fucking up the dark zone. So right now there's no word of the dark zone balancing. So we don't know when it's going to be released, but I bet sometime next month, they will announce on State of the Game that it will be a 1.6 patch coming, probably either that month coming up or either February. It's one of the two. But I got money. It's going to be somewhere in January, and don't quote me on it, but it's a hunch that it will be in January. Though that's all for the video. As far as me having issues with this alpha bridge, and I don't know. I don't like it at all. I really don't. I don't care if I can shred people with it or not. It's such an overpowered build. It's so cheesy for weak players to use. But it's something to play with, I guess, for, most people. People that can't go rogue without an overpowered build and reach manhunt are like the garbage players. So you've seen my videos. For the ones that are subscribed to my channel, you know that I don't use overpowered builds. Sometimes I will, depending on how I'm feeling, but it's too powerful for just anyone to be using. So for the people that are trying to stay away from the overpowered shit and trying to be a good player by proving yourself that it's a challenge, to go up against that kind of build, then yeah, all power to you, because this is a hot mess. My name is J-Reezy, aka Justin Tunes, and I appreciate you watching the video, and I apologize for messing up here and there, but subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will have more content coming your way. Later, guys.